Hello people, Dr. Wang is here recording. In this video clip, I'm going to use Excel to handle the questions regarding to stock valuation and bond valuation. So right here is your first question. If you open up this Excel file, there are other questions in the different spreadsheets. So let's just focus on the first question. So right here you have a common stock just paid a dividend of $2. So if you extract that information, so dividend 0, basically that is $2. All right, it's $2. And the dividend is expected to grow at 8% for 3 years. So the growth rate of the dividend G is 8%. You can also write that down. And it will grow for 3 years, and then it will grow at 4% in perpetuity. So what that means is there are two stages of growth model. Okay, two stage. All right. So the first stage lasts for 3 years. Okay, 3 years, and the second stage is from year 4 all the way to infinity. All right, and that's the information you have. Oh, by the way, you have the discount rate. Okay, the discount rate is 12%. So these are the pieces of information you need to solve for the stock value today. Okay, so you need to know the price 0. Okay, price 0 is what we are solving for. Okay, that's how you dissect the information related to this project. All right, if you can, let's just do a very basic and stimulus method. So let's say you have many years, and you need to calculate the dividend for all these years. And then let's say you have a year 1, year 2, year 3, and I'm going to drag it all the way down and simulate a ridiculously large number of years. Let's say, well, it's 1,400 years. Okay, so I have 1,400 years in total, and the dividends. What's my first year dividend? Well, $2 is the dividend the stock just paid. If I buy the stock today, I do not get that $2 because that $2 was already paid to somebody else. So my first year dividend is actually the $2. Okay, it will be the $2 times 1 plus the 8%. Okay, growth rate. So in the first year, my dividend actually grew to $2.16, and in the next year, it will keep growing from last year's dividend by 8%. Okay, so it will get me to 2.33, and in the next year, it will grow by another 8%. So it will be a 2.52. All right. If I just keep dragging down, so in the fourth year, however, it's a different stage. This is my first stage. Okay, and all the rest will be my second stage. In the second stage, the growth rate changed from 8% to 4%. All right, it's not 8% anymore. It's 4%. And it will keep at 4% forever. Okay, perpetuity stands for forever, right? And then I just drag it all the way down. Okay, as you can see, my dividend just keep growing and growing after years and years, and it eventually grow to a huge number. And after 1,000 years, it will grow to millions of dollars. All right. The thing is, to count for the stock price today, I'm not simply adding all these dividends at a dollar figure. Instead, I need to discount or get the present value of the dividends. Okay, so I will apply a 12% discount rate. For the first year dividend, I'm going to use the cash flow divided by 1 plus 12% discount rate. Okay, raised to the power of whatever year number it is. If it is the first year, I'm going to discount it by 1 period. If it is a second year, I'm going to discount it by 2 periods. As you can see, the exponent has been switched to 2 from 1 when I drag it all the way down. Likewise, if I drag it all the way, you will see This is discounted by 4 years, discounted by 5 years, so on and so forth. All right, I'm going to decrease the decimal. All right, make it $1, and then drag it all the way down. Well, what you observe here is although the dividend in dollar figure keep increasing as years goes by, the present value actually is declining. The reason is the growth rate of dividend, either 8% or 4%, cannot match the discount of 12%. So no matter how large your dividend grows to, it could grow to hundreds, thousands, or even millions of dollars. If you apply the 12% discount according to each year, then it will get down to 0. And the key of assets valuation is the price today is actually a summation of the present value of all the cash flows it generated. So if I select all of them, I'm going to hit Control Shift down arrow to select all the cash flows I generated. This is my number, 28.89. Okay, 28.89. So once again, I'm going to list all the dividends here. Okay, calculate all of them. It first grow by 8% and it grow by 4%, so on and so forth. And then I'm going to discount each of them by 12% rate, okay, according to the year number. And then I'm going to sum up all the present value of the dividends to get the price 0. If you do not have the simulation of Excel, you can basically get the first 4 years of dividends. Okay, get the first 4 years of dividends. So that's your step number 1. Let me just write it up. Step 1. Okay, 4 years of dividends. Why is it 4 years of dividends? Because my first stage lasted for 3 years, so it's always 3, the first stage of 3 years plus additional year. Okay, and step 2, you're gonna use the 4th year dividend 4, to solve for price 3. Okay, the formula you use is price 3 equals to dividend 4 divided by R minus G2. Okay, R minus G2. G2 is your secondary growth rate of 4%. So G1 is 8%, G2 is 4%. So what you do here is price 3 can actually equal to the first dividend divided by 12% minus 4%. Okay, so that's $32.75. Step 3, then you will need to get the NPV of all the cash flows. All right, so how do you do that? You're gonna use the NPV, and then your rate is 12%, just to link it, 12%, and then you're gonna put the cash flows. If you hold the stock for 3 years, okay, just for 3 years, then what's the cash flow you're gonna receive? You are not holding for 1400 years. You're not holding it forever. You just hold it for 3 years. If you hold it for 3 years, you're gonna receive dividend 1, okay? That's your cash flow after 1 year. Dividend 2, that's your cash after 2 years. But after 3 years, you're gonna sell the stock, right? When you sell the stock, you're not only getting the dividend 3, but also you're getting the price of the stock 3 years later. Okay, when you sell the stock, you will get the $32.75. That's its price 3 years later. So that's your cash flow 3, including both the stock price 3 years later and dividend 3. So if you get the NPV of that cash flows, so this will be your number, 28.89. So this method basically is the method of generating millions of dividends, which simulate for perpetuity. And this method is more practical when you have a very limited calculation capacity. You just follow the 3 steps, get 4 years of dividends, and solve for part 3, get the NPV of all the cash flows. So this is, you assume to hold it, the stock for only 3 years. And then you sell it and get part 3. This you assume hold the stock for perpetuity or forever. Okay, either way, it will give you the same answer. The next question is actually much easier. So you have a company just to pay the dividend. So the dividend, which is just paid, is your dividend 0. Okay, and that is 50 cents. And then you have a growth rate of dividend equals to 2%, so G equals to 2. And if the market requires 15% return, and what's the stock should be selling for? Okay, what's the stock should be selling for? So your price equals to is what you need to solve. Okay, if you use one line formula, you gotta first get to the dividend 1, which is your dividend 0 grow by 1 period times 1 plus 2%. Just that's 51 cents. Okay, and then so for price 0, it is dividend 1 divided by the required return minus the growth rate. All right, so that's $3.92. Okay, another way to do it is to simulate unlimited amount of years. So you have these years, okay, year 1, 2, and all the way. I'm going to just say hundreds of years, and that's good enough for a simulation of an unlimited amount of years. And then my dividend here at the first year, it is 51 cents. In the second year, it is 51 cents, grow by another 2%. All right, that's 52 cents. Okay, and then just drag it all the way down or double click it. You will see the dividend keeps growing by 2% from the last period. And then it will grow to a huge number, but it really does not matter. Okay, what matters is the present value of all the dividend. So here, for the first year, I'm going to discount it by 12%, okay, according to its year number 1. All right, so the 51 cents a year later is only worth 46 cents today. And then I'm going to replicate the discount. So right here, it's discounted for 2 years, discounted for 3 years, on and on. And then eventually, all the large dividends will be discounted to a value of 0. And then the very last step is to add all the discounted dividend together to follow the rules of assets valuation. All right, as you can see, this is this is 15% dividend. All right, so 15% discount rate. So this would give me a 3.92. So I need to apply 15% as the discount rate. Okay, and then add them up. So this would give me just exactly the same result as I use the mathematical formula, which is a dividend 1 divided by R minus G.